Okay, so now we have the joystick demonstration using the test Earth skybox scene, and right now we're demonstrating the rotation around the x-axis. Yes, I know it's moving in the y direction, bear with me. And the rotation around the y-axis. Okay, so why am I saying these crazy things? The x-axis, as you know, is from left to right, and the y-axis is up and down. Yes, I know. There's also a z-axis which goes in and out of the screen, and that is because we're in 3D space right now, so things are a little bit different from what you may be aware. The x-axis is from your left ear to your right ear, and we're going to use this head analogy or body analogy. The z-axis is the direction you are looking and out the back of your head, and the y-axis is from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Now, you as a person walking around have your own unique arbitrary x, y, z axes, and wherever you go your axis will change. So you can very easily rotate around your y-axis just by turning left, and then where is my Earth? Please show up. Oh, there it is. Good. I was starting to worry that I had done something fundamentally wrong. And we can rotate around the x-axis the same way. Now, the problem is something called gimbal lock, and that is you have your own unique x, y, and z axis, and the camera has its own unique y and z axis. But when you walk around, your x, y, and z axis changes. It moves with you. And this x-axis does not. So we're going to look down the negative x-axis now. So the Earth is now off of our right ear. And now I'm looking down the x-axis. So if I want to rotate around the x-axis, which is to move up and down, we would expect that the camera moves up and down, but instead it spins. And this is actually the correct thing, because this is not a bug. This is what's called a gimbal lock. And that is when you're looking down the specific axis and you try to rotate around it, you're going to spin in space. And this will happen if I look at the y-axis, and it'll happen if I look at the z-axis. The computer doesn't know how to arbitrarily change where the axis is. And this is actually fairly difficult to do. We're going to need to use something called quaternions to arbitrarily change the x, y, and z axis. You are familiar with the x-axis, left and right, and y-axis, up and down. What we want to do is kind of create this weird mismatch of axes where instead of having x is left and right, maybe x is kind of a slanted angle, like negative 10x and plus 10x. Or maybe the x, we're upside down, and so we need to have the y-axis flipped. Or we turn around, and when we turn around, now the z-axis is flipped. Or, you know, any kind of way you can imagine that a plane would change its direction, we need to be able to change the x, y, and z axis to incorporate that change. Otherwise, we cannot resolve this gimbal lock issue, and certain kinds of camera view basically aren't possible. And if we want to implement a spaceflight simulator, we need to be able to represent the ways that a plane or a spaceship could move. So we're going to have to resolve this issue.